Now in this video, we're going to go over 15 specific stocks and or ETFs that I plan on spending a boatload of money on throughout the next year in 2025. Now, some of these names are going to be familiar and are already going to be inside my portfolio. I'm going to be looking to add more shares to. Some of the names might be a little bit different though also, so you might be surprised with some of my picks. Now, as of right now, my portfolio earns anywhere from $7,300 to $7,500 per month in dividends on average every single month of the year. So throughout 2025, along with some deposits, I should have more than enough cash balance to build out a lot of these positions over the next year or so. Now, these names are not going to be in any specific order, and I'm not saying that you guys should buy them. I'm just saying these are all the names on my watch list for the next year, and all these names are going to offer my portfolio the potential to grow over time, but also a ton of income from day one. So if you want to see 15 different stocks and ETFs that I'm planning on adding to my portfolio over the next year, then make sure to stick around, drop a link down below, and let's get right into it. If you are a dividend investor who wants to level up your portfolio, you need to be tracking your dividend income consistently. And that's why I created the perfect dividend tracker that I've used to scale my dividend income up to all-time highs over the last year. Now, along with this dividend tracker, you're also going to receive my A to Z dividend investing ebook, which shows you how I personally started from $0 several years ago to now where I earn over $7,500 per month in dividends. So if you want this tracker and the ebook, go to the first link down below in my description and grab it today. So once again, in absolutely no specific order, but one of the ETFs I'm planning on adding into my portfolio a little bit more in 2025 is the Fidelity High Dividend ETF, or ticker symbol FDVV. Now, this ETF came across my radar in 2024 and offers a nice potential for growth, but also offers a nice starting dividend at around 3%. And because I already have so much SCHD in my portfolio, I am going to be trying to diversify into different dividend growth style ETFs, even if there is some crossover in the underlying holdings. Now, FDVV is sort of a slept on ETF. I've made videos about it in the past, so definitely check out some of my other videos on this one, and if not, do some research and see if it fits what you're looking for. Now, another ETF I'm looking to add to my portfolio this year in 2025 is going to be ticker symbol SCHG. Now, this is the Schwab US Large Cap Growth ETF, and if you guys have watched my channel before, you're probably saying, what the heck, you're more of a dividend income focused investor. And again, all these different stocks and ETFs we're talking about in this video are potential adds to the portfolio. I'm not saying for sure I'm going to add this or that, but these are all the names on my watch list. And because I'm sort of getting closer to the point to where I want my long-term dividend income to be, I am considering adding a small portion of growth ETFs in my portfolio, but again, we're going to have to wait and see. Now, as far as growth ETFs, SCHG is one of my favorites to do it, so this definitely is a name on the watch list. Another name that's probably going to be added in the portfolio, more of at least, is SPYI, an ETF that I bought a ton of in 2024. Now, this ETF obviously utilizes the S&P 500, but then along with an option strategy, offers investors anywhere from around 11 or 12% yield, which is insane. This ETF has done pretty well so far, offered me a ton of income every single month. I'll probably be adding some more of it throughout the next year, but we'll have to see. Now, I'll also probably be adding more of SPYI's brother or sister. We're talking about the NASDAQ version, or ticker symbol QQQI. And this is because I do want more NASDAQ 100 exposure, but why not grab some more exposure and do it in income formats? So the NEOS NASDAQ 100 High Income ETF is still on my watch list, and I'll probably be adding a lot more of this one even compared to SPYI, because my position on this one is a little bit smaller. Another ETF that I'm going to be adding more to the portfolio for some more S&P 500 income exposure is GPIX, the Goldman Sachs Premium Income ETF. I've talked about this one over the last year or so, and this is one of my favorites as of right now. This ETF offers a ton of potential for upside, but along with that offers around an 8% yield, which is huge. Another slept on income oriented ETF, if you ask me. Definitely dig a little bit deeper into GPIX if you guys haven't already. Another one that I'm going to keep adding a lot more over the next year is the Amplify CWP Growth and Income ETF, or QDVO. Now, I'm sure you guys are familiar with DVO, the other Amplify ETF. This ETF is similar, but the difference with QDVO is that it utilizes a different underlying holdings. Now, this ETF has some massive potential for growth in my opinion, but also is offering a nice stable starting yield. Which brings me into my next one, Devo, one of my all-time favorites. I said multiple times that I'm probably going to even be utilizing a large portion of cash balance over the next year and deploy into Devo. Now, this is simply because Devo offers almost everything that I personally am looking for in an overall investing strategy. The ETF has grown slow and steadily over time, but also offered around a 4 or 5% starting yield, which gives an investor the exposure to massive income right from day one. Now, Devo is also relatively low beta. The ETF is very stable, and the strategy is amazing in my opinion. So if you guys follow me, you're going to be seeing a lot of Devo on the buy lists over the next 12 or so months. Now, a few more ETFs I want to build out as far as positions over this next year is one of my other favorites, DGRW, the Wisdom Tree US Quality Dividend Growth Fund. I'm a huge fan of this ETF specifically, and this is because I like the underlying holdings. Some of the holdings in DGRW are some of my favorite companies across the entire market specifically. And honestly, although a lot of these holdings are overlapped in a lot of the other covered call style ETFs, I really also like the fact that DGRW offers as much growth potential and a monthly paid dividend at that. So DGRW, although in my portfolio as of right now in a very small fashion, you're probably going to be seeing a lot more of this one over the next year. Another ETF that you're probably going to be seeing me buy a lot more in this year compared to last is one of my newer holdings, VIG, or the Vanguard Dividend Appreciation ETF, another ultra high quality dividend growth ETF in my opinion. This ETF has grown like crazy over the past 10 or so years, but on top of that, it's offered dividends and more in dividends, basically year over year, quarter after quarter. Now, even though VIG is much more of a growth play, you're not really going to get rich off of necessarily dividend farming from this one. It offers exposure to a super high quality basket of holdings, and like I said, the growth potential and the dividend growth of this one is A+. Now, an ETF that I'm still going to be adding into my portfolio, although probably in a little bit slower of a fashion over this next year, is SHD, one of my largest dividend growth style ETFs throughout my 7-figure portfolio as of right now. This ETF has definitely been on the buy list over the last several years, and now that I've built up a sizable position, I'm still going to grab some shares of SHD, especially on red days, but I do have so many other names that I want to build out also. Now, that being said, with the amount of shares of SHD I already have, I'm hopefully going to be growing my portfolio's internal dividend income just by holding onto these shares, if at least this ETF continues to pay more and more in dividends like it has in the past, which again, we don't know if that's going to happen for certain, but we can hope for. So all in all, SHD is definitely going to remain on my buy list, but like I said, there's so many other dividend growth style ETFs that I'm probably going to be adding to a lot more this year. Another one that I'm going to keep adding a few shares on, this is more of a speculative play, but FEPI. I like the fact that FEPI does give you FANG and innovation exposure, but along with that, because of the option overlay, it offers a ton of income potential. Now, this ETF could run into some major trouble if we see a massive drop in the market, but we're going to have to wait and see what happens. A few more positions I'm going to be adding in 2025. And if you guys haven't already, make sure to drop a like on this video and subscribe if you guys want to see all kinds of stock market content like this. But I'm definitely going to have to add some more JP Morgan Nasdaq Equity Premium Income ETF, or ticker symbol JEPI, a position that I've now held for several years and that I have been adding to a little bit over the past several months. JEPI's offered my portfolio growth and has offered me a ton of income every single month since inception. 3 more holdings I'm going to be adding over the next year. GPIQ, this is a Nasdaq 100 core premium income ETF from Goldman Sachs. This ETF is one of my new favorite Nasdaq 100 income-oriented ETFs across the entire markets. Now again, like all the different ETFs and stocks that I talk about, on this video, I have made dedicated videos on, so definitely look through them. But this is definitely one of my favorites as of right now, and I'm definitely going to be adding to a lot. 2 more single stocks I'm going to be adding a lot more in the next year. Hopefully, if this one ever dips in price, I'll be adding a lot more Main Street Capital. I'm a huge fan of ticker symbol MAIN. This single stock has grown significantly over time, paid me dividends, and also paid special dividends at that. MAIN is very pricey as of right now, but I still have been adding a few more shares here and there, nibbling, just because it's so pricey. Now, last but not least, I'll probably be adding more Realty Income, ticker symbol LO, even though this single stock has had a very rough past several years. I do think that if and when interest rates come down, even if it is a little bit further out, that real estate investment trusts are going to get some love and they're going to intrinsically be worth more money. So Realty Income as a long-term investment is still going to be on my radar, but we're gonna have to wait and see. So there we have it, guys. Those are 15 different individual positions that I'm going to be adding to my portfolio over the next year or so. Now, things are always changing ongoingly, so if you want to see exactly which stocks and ETFs I add to my long-term portfolio, like you can see right here on the screen, make sure to subscribe because I share everything with you guys. But before I go, I want to ask you guys a single question. What are 3 positions, whether it's stocks or ETFs, that you're looking to add to your portfolio significantly over the next year or so? Let me know in the comments down below. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to please drop a like on it and subscribe for more future content like this. Thanks as always for stopping by, and if you are interested in investing, make sure to check out these recent videos I posted right here.